Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Pretty windy today, so I apologise for any wind noise. It's blowing a bit today. Just wanted to have a quick chat today about a fairly gripping news story that's happened in France. I don't really follow politics too much. I'm not really inclined to keep up with any of that. I'm not actually allowed to vote in France because I haven't got a French passport, and I obviously don't vote in England because I'm not on the electoral roll or anything like that. But something's happened in France recently, which I think is worthy of mentioning. It's to do with the extreme far right party that's in France at the moment. That's got quite a massive political voice, which is worrying. But there's a new. I'll read this off. I found this on a French news website. The title of the article is "French Court Hands Le Pen 5-year election ban in fake jobs case." So just bear with me. I'll read out this short article, and then I'll discuss it after that. Oh, go away. A French court has banned far-right leader Marine Le Pen from holding public office for 5 years with immediate effect after finding her guilty of misusing EU funds through a fake jobs scam. The verdict rules her out of running in a 2027 presidential race unless she successfully appeals beforehand. The Paris court ruled on Monday that Marine Le Pen, who leads the far-right National Rally (RN) parliamentary group, and 8 other RN MEPs were guilty of embezzling EU funds to pay France-based party staff. So there's nothing new there, is there? She and her fellow lawmakers are banned from running for office with immediate effect, even if an appeal is lodged. The judge also gave Le Pen a 4-year prison sentence with 2 years suspended. The other 2 years will be served under home detention. She also received a €100,000 fine. Small price to pay, really. 12 parliamentary assistants were also convicted of concealing a crime, with the court estimating the scheme was worth €2.9 million. Le Pen, 56, left the courtroom before the sentencing was announced. During the trial late last year, Le Pen, the RN and 23 party figures were accused of diverting European parliamentary funds to pay staff during the period 2004 to 2016, when the party was known as the National Front (FN). Le Pen has always denied the accusations and is likely to appeal. Neither the prison sentence nor the fine will be applied until her appeals are exhausted. But the 5-year ban from running for office kicks in immediately via a so-called provisional execution measure requested by prosecutors. It will be lifted only if any appeal is upheld before the 2027 election. Presiding Judge Bénédicte de Pertuis said on Monday that Le Pen and other defendants deserved an immediate ban from office, which I sort of agree with. The court took into consideration, in addition to the risk of reoffending, the major disturbance of public order if a person already convicted was a candidate in the presidential election, she said. Le Pen has yet to comment on the ruling, but RN President Jordan Bardella, he's a piece of work, said, "Today it is not only Marine Le Pen who was unjustly condemned, French democracy was killed." Okay. The next part of the article is called Political Death. Monday's verdict is a major setback for Le Pen. The 56-year-old has twice made it to the presidential runoff, and opinion polls suggest she is a strong contender to become France's next president. She has accused prosecutors of seeking her political death, alleging a plot to keep the National Rally from power that echoes claims made by US President Donald Trump about his legal woes. The defendants say the money was used legitimately and the allegations define too narrowly what a parliamentary assistant does. However, de Pertuis said the 9 lawmakers and 12 assistants found guilty signed fictitious contracts, and there was indeed a system within the party, with Le Pen at the heart of the system since 2009. The judge also said there had been no personal enrichment. Le Pen retains her parliamentary seat until the end of her mandate. She renamed the National Front Party, co-founded by her late father Jean-Marie Le Pen, as Rally National in 2018, steering it away from its anti-Semitic pro-Nazi roots and transforming it into the largest single party in France's parliament. Matteo Salvini, Italy's deputy prime minister and the head of the far-right League, strongly criticised the French ruling. People who are afraid of the judgment of the voters are often reassured by the judgment of the courts, he said. In Paris, they have condemned Marine Le Pen and would like to exclude her from political life. Dutch far-right politician Geert Wilders also voiced his dismay over the ruling. I am shocked by the incredibly tough verdict against Le Pen. I support and believe in her for the full 100%, and I trust she will win the appeal and become President of France, Wilders posted in English on X. Meanwhile, Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov insisted more and more European capitals are going down the path of violating democratic norms. Well, that's rich coming from a Russian politician. So yeah, what does this all mean? Excuse me. It's like, I think it's like with all publicity, any publicity is good publicity. Hang on, my dog's just gonna, no, he's gonna sit down there. So yeah, any publicity is good publicity, and I think that by handing out this fairly hefty sort of punishment to Le Pen, I think it only paves the way for the sort of second in command of the party, Jordan Bardella. It's just going to enable him, because he's very popular, especially with young people, which is quite worrying. A lot of young people in France are becoming more and more racist, things like that. I mean, it said that Le Pen rebranded the party because her father was a staunch sort of neo-Nazi. She rebranded it in 2018 or whatever to try and steer it away from its anti-Semitic pro-Nazi roots, which is complete rubbish. It's still very anti-Semitic. Maybe instead of pro-Nazi, that you could probably call it anti-Muslim or something now. Yeah, their main sort of deal is immigration. Not that there's really that much of a problem with immigration in France. France has always been very hot on immigration anyway. It's hard to get into France if you haven't got any paperwork. They won't. It's not like in England, they just won't let you in. Even if there are any illegal immigrants, walking around town centres, they'll soon get picked up by the police. If you're of a certain demographic, the police patrolling the middle of town or whatever, they've got every right to go up to you and ask for your paperwork. So yeah, it's all a bit worrying, really. I mean, Le Pen, she has been gaining more and more popularity, but because she is the daughter of Jean-Marie Le Pen, when it comes to voters that have got half a brain, they'd never vote for her. So yeah, it seems a bit strange, but I think it's good in the sort of short term. Just means that she won't get in for the next presidential election, but there's nothing to stop the guy that's like second in command of the party from getting in. And I just think that this latest sort of scandal is being massively talked about in France. It's big news. It's just going to garner more support for the far right, I think. Like I said before, any publicity is good publicity. Bloody hell, get very windy now. Yeah, any publicity is good publicity. So I think long term, it's not really going to do them any damage at all. Yeah, I mean, Macron, the president at the moment, he can't get in again because he's already had 2 mandates or whatever. So, and there isn't really anybody else that's up to the sort of the job in France. And like I said before, the far right are gaining more and more of the votes day by day. So Yeah, bad news for Marine Le Pen, good news for Jordan Bardella. Like I said before, he's very popular with young people, which is a massive worry. Um, doesn't really. Am I worried about it? Yes and no. Doesn't really affect me too much. You know, I've been living in France for the last 20 years. I've paid my taxes here. I've got all the paperwork to live here and work here, so I'm not the sort of demographic they'll go after when, if and when they do get into power. So it's not really a problem for me. But yeah, it's a little bit worrying about how in Europe the far right are sort of sweeping across the continent. Like in the article, you've got the Dutch president or prime minister or whatever. You know, he's backing up Marine Le Pen. Trump, Elon Musk, they're backing her up. Italy, Hungary. Yeah, it just feels like everything's sort of going around in circles again. Going back to sort of what happened before the Second World War. I mean, before Hitler got into power, they put him in prison for a few years, but didn't stop him in the long run from fucking up the entire world. So yeah, I think long term we're in for a bit of a ride. So yeah, I'll try not to go too political on it. That's not really what I wanted this channel to become, but it's just one of those sort of things that pisses me off a bit. So I thought it was worth a chinwag. So yeah, I'll leave it at that, and let me know in the comments what you think about it. Whether this story is getting any press coverage where you are, because it's getting a hell of a lot here. It's pretty much all that's on the news at the moment. Hard to sort of stay away from it, but yeah, there you go. Thanks for getting to the end. Thanks for liking, subscribing, and I'll catch you in the next video. Okay, take care. Bye bye.